Good evening, everybody. I hope you're having a great time. Third time's a charm. So today's build is Zaku 2 Red Comet version of Char Commander type. Yeah. If you know the iconic Red Zaku 2, then you know which version there is. I know there is other versions of the Red Zaku, but usually when it's coming to Red and Gundam, it's usually either a Char type of person, or you just literally just Char himself. Now this is actually the Gundam the Origin version. What I believe it is actually different than the original show itself. Because mind you, Gundam the Origin technically takes place before the main timeline, but also it's sort of a weird spot where it kind of rewrites a lot of things. I don't know. Gundam the Origin is kind of weird and interesting because it's like it gives it a lot of backstory about mostly about Char. Like I mean, let's be honest, Gundam the Origin is Char's story. You don't really see Amuro, don't really see other characters towards like the last two OVA episodes. But who really cares? It's freaking Char, right? You get to see the rise and the birth of Char Aznavour. It's a great time. I really recommend that. I haven't really read the manga to it. What I did, I was very excited when that whole manga was coming out in America. So yeah, I enough about that. More about the gunpla and talking about Char. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna be talking about Char for the next couple minutes. And really, this bill, um, talking about this bill, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Um, I do own a different version of the red Zaku 2 commander type. Because I'm not sure, I think somebody could correct me, but I believe there's no difference between the commander type. I mean, actually, there is a difference between your regular mass produced Zaku 2 and commander type, but I think Charred Aznavour isn't technically a commander type. It's really just a Zaku 2 painted red with its limiter off. That's really the only difference. If anybody asks you, like, what makes Char's Zaku 2 different, it's really more along the line is it's slightly modified in the sense that it's not it's modified that its limiters are off and really it's just painted red. With obviously later Zaku 2 commander type would be kind of based off of that. But I think the difference between those commander types and Char Aznavour ones are I see a lot different. I think there are a lot of different because Char Aznavour Zaku 2 it's literally just a painted red Zaku. It's a painted Zaku 2 with limited amount. Now that's at least in the Gundam the Origin explanation about the birth of the red comet. Also him using like certain technique to increase the speed of his Zaku will let it basically destroying old battleships within like the last episode and the beginning of the Gundam the Origin. It was such a great movie, damn it. Yeah, but I own a original version of that. I'll show it later. That version is really outdated. Like when you look at that, like yeah, that's the one you want to have to go over and paint. Whereas the Origin the version, it's just a clean unit, such a great unit. I love actually building this. It took me quite a bit of time for some weird reason. I had a moment throughout this recording where I'm just like, what am I doing? What am I building? Oh wait, I messed this up. I had a lot of moments where I'm like, I have no clue what I'm doing right now. It's a really great bill. It's a really great bill for the most part. Also, I guess on the side note, I was able to clean out my table more, so I had more room to build gunpla, which is great for me because now I don't have to worry about a bunch of junk for the most part. Yeah, during this recording, I was just doing a lot of cleaning up. A lot of my hair products. I actually have long hair, so sorry for seeing that. I'm also have pretty sensitive skin around my face, so there's also that. So I wear quite a bit of stuff, and where I live is the temperature here gets pretty cold, so you kind of have to be moist and hydrated. But that's not really the point. A little side tangent, if anyone asks. But yeah, I like this bill. I give it a good solid like 8.5, maybe higher. It's just a. But if I was to give it a review, I'll put it up there compared to the previous bill I had and the previous video I had on the Barbados Lupus. This kind of filled a hole that I was missing from that belt. I don't know. There was just a lot of charm to this one belt alone, especially when we were doing the decor, which I freaking hate. It had a lot of decor, not a lot compared to say something like a real grade or other builds I've had, but this has quite a bit up there. And to be true for you, I'm not the biggest fan in putting decors. I just don't like doing the stickers a lot of the time. I don't know why. I'm just not a big fan of stickers. Like I rather if the stuff was already just in the suit itself, like it was painted with it. But I know the idea is to kind of like customize and paint the gunpla to your own liking, which is fair. I don't know. I've just never been the biggest fan of that kind of stuff. It's really more of a me issue than anything else. But yeah, overall. Besides that, I think I did mention that I had a few times where I kind of got confused for some weird reason. I don't know why. I get really confused with this build. I'm not sure if it was just like my attitude or mood I was building this because I was really tired. I think it was like I was building. I think I was building this on a Sunday actually. It was like Sunday or Saturday. I was building this and I was just really tired and I just wanted to get the day over and done with. I just wanted to go back and sleep. So I guess my attitude towards this build was like I liked it a lot, had fun, but my mental state was I want to go back and sleep. Um, but yeah, if I was to say anything else, I probably would be comparing it more to the actual original anime, um, and how I felt about that. Because like when I first watched Gundam the Origin, I think it was like a little bit right after I watched Gundam Unicorn, and that was a great anime. That was that was just a great anime. And Origin was also a great OVA. I don't know. I think with the anime itself, I felt like it went on longer than it needed to in some spots. But again, that's more on me. I don't know. When it's coming to anime, I either want them to be long or short. I'm not really more of a in the middle kind of person. That's really more with like American stuff, like American movies. Um, and I guess talking about that, if anyone saw the new whole Gundam Vengeance or the Gundam Revenge or something, that's gonna be interesting to watch. I need to stop with the side tangents for a bit and talk more about the Gunpla. I think one of the things I should also bring up is I like to kind of fast forward a lot of these parts. I think I mentioned it in my last video, but I kind of want to really show both like the cutting part and the actual building part. I'm trying to find a good mix between the two. I really haven't gotten a good mix because a lot of the time when I'm recording this stuff, I'm doing it on my phone, so I have a lot of control. I thought about just like segments, right, where some parts I do like the actual cutting and other parts I do like individual putting it together, right? I thought about doing that and then towards the end just do like one big, you know, connect, um, and so on. Because I feel like some of these videos go too long than they need to. Maybe some of y'all will like it when I'm showing like the actual building it together and cutting the actual pieces off the actual runs. Um, but I don't know. I really don't know. Um, Also, I think another thing about this build, the tip, I think it's not the funnel, but the actual like unicorn horn, if you know what I'm referring to, fell off a few times during this build. I would say one thing about this build is that it's not too stiff, but it's kind of loose in some parts, which isn't necessarily a bad thing sometimes. I think it's not always a bad thing. I think I was complaining about Gundam, the Mark II Gundam, the high grade version of it, and I felt that it was a little too loose, especially in the middle section. But I was surprised for this one that the middle area wasn't too loose. I think that's also one of my issues with certain Gunpla build, that it has too much of a loose like middle section torso area compared to other builds. Did my video this stop? Compared to other builds, but I think that's more of a me thing than anything else. But trying to also any complaints I had about it. Uh, I think compared to the commander type version I have of this, again, if you there's I guess there are some differences between the command. I mean, there are differences between the commander type and the Zaku and Char and Zabal chart. Zaku too. Wow, I am tired. I am a little bit tired today. Oh yeah, here I kind of changed up the camera angle to show you the building part of it. This is both the legs and the foot itself, and so on. But I enjoy this. Overall, if you could find this for pretty cheap, because these things can go pretty expensive. I think it was like $30. Some places I've seen it's like $30, 25 even. I think some places like the lowest. I've got it for a good. I think overall I got it for a good $20 actually. Was like a lot of the origin stuff can be expensive. I even saw a real great version of the Gundam the Origin, the actual just the actual Gundam one. I actually saw that for I think I saw the real grade for that for pretty cheap actually. I guess when I go back, I'll check that out because I think I will get the high grade version of the Gundam of the Origin. You know what I mean. You know what I'm referring to. And do a bit of a comparison between these two. I would say for building this all together, great. Little loose in some parts, stiff in others. The little guns I built together, a little bit of a slide so maybe. Well, not a slide so, but you know what I mean. And I am gonna compare this to the Zaku, which is one of my favorite builds, and the actual like Commander 2. But I think that is a Char version. Don't quote me on that. Compared to those two, I'm a fan of the Zaku, so I'm gonna be a little biased. And then I think right after this, I actually got the original Gundam, the high grade, not the origin version. Great build. Thank you all for watching. Have a good one.